Commander Adam Cole looked out the viewport of the shuttle as it descended toward the surface of planet KG-478. The blue-green world grew larger below them, its atmosphere swirling with strange cloud patterns. This was supposed to be a routine mission. Land, set up a research outpost, and begin cataloging the planet's resources. Adam had led dozens of similar expeditions, but something about this one made him uneasy. "Final approach in 3 minutes," said Jack Harrison from the pilot's seat. Jack was the team's engineer, a quiet man with steady hands and a talent for fixing anything mechanical. All systems nominal. Dr. Lisa Morgan stood behind Adam, her eyes wide with excitement. As the team's biologist, she had been studying the preliminary scans of KG-478 for months. "The readings are incredible. The biodiversity here could revolutionize our understanding of extraterrestrial life. Let's just focus on landing in one piece first," said Sam Garcia. The security officer checked his gear for the 5th time, a habit from his military days. His dark eyes scanned the horizon, already looking for potential threats. "I'm picking up some unusual interference," said Olivia Wright, frowning at her communications console. The youngest member of the team, Olivia, had a gift for languages and signals. "It's almost like, wait, these atmospheric readings don't match our orbital data." Adam moved to look over her shoulder. "What do you mean?" Before Olivia could answer, the shuttle shuddered violently. Warning lights flashed across the control panel. "We've got a problem," Jack said, his voice tight but controlled. "Something's disrupting our guidance systems." The shuttle lurched again, harder this time. Equipment tumbled from shelves and Lisa stumbled, nearly falling before Adam caught her arm. "Can you stabilize us?" Adam asked. Jack's hands flew over the controls. "Trying, but nothing's responding right. It's like something's jamming our systems." The shuttle began to spin, dropping through the atmosphere at a dangerous angle. The hull creaked under the pressure. "Brace for impact," Adam shouted, strapping himself into the nearest seat. The others did the same, their faces pale but determined. The ground rushed up to meet them. Jack managed one final correction, leveling their descent slightly before the shuttle hit the surface with a tremendous crash. Metal tore, glass shattered, and darkness fell over the crew. Miles away, hidden in a camouflaged observation post, Senior Observer Krell of the Xantari Confederacy watched the human shuttle's descent with clinical interest. His elongated fingers moved over the holographic display, recording every detail of the crash. "The human vessel has failed catastrophically as expected," he reported. His voice was melodic but emotionless. "Their primitive technology was not designed for our atmospheric conditions." Next to him, Junior Observer Mella tilted her head. "Will we study their remains once the rescue team arrives?" Her scaled skin shimmered in the dim light of their hidden facility. "There will be no rescue," Krell said. "Our interference has disabled their communications. This is a perfect opportunity to observe how humans respond to extreme survival situations. The High Command has authorized this study." "But they'll die quickly in this environment," Mela said. "The toxicity levels alone will—" "We shall see," Krell interrupted. "Begin the observation protocol, document everything." Adam woke to the smell of smoke and the sound of sparking electronics. His head throbbed, and something warm trickled down his forehead. Blood. He reached up and winced at the cut above his eyebrow. "Status report," he called out, unstrapping himself from his seat. The shuttle interior was a mess of twisted metal and scattered supplies. Emergency lights cast an eerie red glow over everything. "I'm okay," Lisa called from the back. She was already checking on Sam, who had a nasty gash on his arm. "Navigation and propulsion systems are completely fried," Jack reported, examining the shattered control panel. "We're not flying out of here." Olivia groaned and pushed herself up from her station. "Communications are down too. I can't even get a basic signal out." Adam looked around at his team, assessing their situation. They were alive, which was the most important thing. Injured, but not critically. "Sam, what about our emergency supplies?" Sam limped to the storage compartments, forcing one open with a grunt. "Med kits are intact. We've got about 10 days of rations, water purifiers, and basic survival gear. Most of the high-tech equipment is damaged. What happened up there? Lisa asked, applying antiseptic to Sam's arm. That wasn't normal turbulence. Olivia shook her head. Just before we lost control, I detected an energy signature I've never seen before. It wasn't natural. You think someone brought us down on purpose? Jack asked. I don't know, Olivia said. But those atmospheric readings we received from orbit were wrong. Dead wrong. Adam moved to the cracked viewport. Outside, he could see an alien landscape bathed in the orange light of a setting sun. Dense vegetation surrounded them, plants with shapes unlike anything on Earth. In the distance, strange rock formations jutted up against the darkening sky. We need to secure our position before nightfall, Adam decided. We don't know what kind of wildlife is out there. As if in response to his words, a long wailing cry echoed from the forest. Everyone froze, listening to the alien sound. That doesn't sound friendly, Sam muttered, reaching for his sidearm. Let's salvage what we can from the shuttle and set up a perimeter, Adam ordered. Jack, see if you can get any systems back online. Olivia, keep trying to establish communications. Lisa, catalog our medical supplies and check everyone for injuries I might have missed. Sam, you're with me on security. They moved with practiced efficiency, falling back on their training despite the unfamiliar situation. Within an hour, they had established a small camp just outside the damaged shuttle. Sam had rigged up some basic alarms using wire and debris from the crash, creating a perimeter that would warn them of approaching threats. As darkness fell completely, the team gathered around a small heating unit salvaged from the shuttle. Strange sounds came from the forest around them. Clicks, whistles, and occasional screams that made the hair on their necks stand up. Those plants I saw on the way down, Lisa said quietly. They don't match any evolutionary pattern I'm familiar with. This place is going to rewrite every biology textbook we have. If we live to tell about it, Sam said. We will, Adam assured them. The company knows our position. When we don't check in, they'll send a rescue team. Jack stared into the darkness. And how long will that take? Standard protocol is 2 weeks, Olivia answered. If we miss 2 scheduled check-ins, then we survive for 2 weeks, Adam said, firmly. We've got enough supplies to get started and we're all trained for emergency situations. Tomorrow we'll assess our surroundings, look for water, and see if Lisa can identify any edible native plants to supplement our rations. A chorus of alien cries rose from the darkness around them, closer this time. Sam readied his weapon. I'll take first watch, he volunteered. I don't think I'll be sleeping much anyway. Adam nodded. 4-hour shifts. We stay alert. We stay together, and we stay alive. As the others tried to rest, Adam stepped away from the camp to look up at the unfamiliar stars. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Something about their crash didn't add up. If their descent had been interfered with, that meant there was intelligence on this planet. Intelligence that might not welcome human visitors. In the darkness beyond the camp, a pair of eyes did indeed watch the humans with keen interest. Senior observer Krell adjusted his optical sensors, recording every move the survivors made. These humans were organized, disciplined. Perhaps this study would be more interesting than he had initially believed. The observation had begun. 3 days after the crash, Adam stood on a small hill near their camp, surveying the alien landscape. The team had quickly established a routine. Each morning they ventured a little farther from the shuttle, mapping the area and gathering resources. They marked their path with bright strips of fabric torn from emergency blankets to ensure they could find their way back. The water from that stream tests clean, Lisa said, joining him on the hill. She held up a small container of clear liquid. Basic filtering removes the mineral content that gave it that purple tint. It's safe to drink. Adam nodded. Good work. That solves our most immediate problem. Lisa brushed a strand of hair from her face. Her skin was already tanning from the alien sun. I've also identified 6 plant species that are compatible with our digestive system. Nothing too flavorful, but they'll extend our rations significantly. Below them, Sam and Jack were reinforcing the camp's defenses. They had dragged large pieces of the shuttle's hull to create walls around their small clearing. Sam had fashioned crude but effective spears and traps from the wreckage. How's Olivia's progress with communications? Lisa asked. Slow, Adam admitted. She's managed to pick up some signals, but nothing she can decode fully. At least the emergency beacon is working. If anyone comes looking, they'll find us. A distant howl echoed across the valley, followed by several answering calls. The team had named the unseen creatures howlers after their distinctive cry. They hadn't seen one yet, but the sound seemed to be getting closer each day. We should head back, Adam said. I don't like being outside the perimeter this close to dusk. As they walked back to camp, Lisa studied the strange plants around them. You know what's odd? Many of these species show signs of adaptation to harsh conditions. Toxin resistance, water storage, defensive structures. But the environment itself isn't actually that hostile. What are you saying? I'm saying these plants evolved to survive something dangerous, Lisa explained. Something that might not be here anymore. When they reached the camp, they found Olivia excitedly waving them over to her makeshift communications station. She had salvaged parts from various systems to build a crude receiver. I've been picking up regular transmissions, she said. They're not random signals. They have patterns, encryption. There's definitely intelligent life on this planet, or at least in orbit. Can you tell what they're saying? Adam asked. Olivia shook her head. Not yet, but I've noticed the signals increase whenever we do something interesting. Like when Sam set up that solar still yesterday, or when Lisa started categorizing plant samples. Sam looked up from sharpening a piece of metal. You think we're being watched? It would explain the crash, Jack added. He had been quiet as usual, but his mind was always working. If someone wanted to study us, stranding us here would be an effective way to do it. Adam considered this. If we are being observed, let's give them something worth watching. Tomorrow we start building more permanent shelters. We show them that humans don't just survive, we thrive. In the hidden Xantari observation post, senior observer Krell reviewed the day's recordings with increasing fascination. Junior observer Mela sat beside him, equally captivated by the humans' activities. They've already established a sustainable water source and identified edible vegetation, Mela noted. Most species would still be in shock or fighting among themselves at this point. Krell zoomed in on the humans' camp. Their use of the crashed vessel components shows remarkable ingenuity. And notice how they maintain their social structure, despite the stress. The female designated Lisa has demonstrated particular skill, Mela observed. She tested 23 plant species for toxicity using only the most basic equipment, and the security male has created effective defensive measures with minimal resources, Krell added. I'm especially impressed by their trap systems. Communication alert flashed on their console. Krell accepted the incoming transmission and the stern face of Director Vex appeared on the screen. Report on the human subjects. The director demanded without greeting. They are exceeding all survival metrics, Krell replied. They've established water, food, shelter, and defense within 3 cycles. They've begun to detect our observation signals, though they cannot decode them yet. The director's inner eyelids blinked slowly. This is unexpected. The Confederacy. Assessment classified humans as technological dependents, incapable of adapting to loss of their machines. The assessment was incorrect, Krell stated. These humans display exceptional problem-solving abilities and cooperation. Most notably, they appear to actively enjoy the challenge. Enjoy? The director's scales darkened with skepticism. Yes, Mela confirmed. They show signs of satisfaction when solving problems. The commander even smiles when faced with new obstacles. The director was silent for a moment. Continue your observations. The Confederacy High Command is now taking interest in this study. Do not interfere directly. The transmission ended abruptly. Krell turned to Mela. Increase the sensitivity of our monitors. I want to record everything they say and do. Is this still just scientific observation? Mela asked carefully. Krell's eyes narrowed. For now. The next morning, the human team gathered around a crude map Jack had drawn in the dirt. Adam pointed to different areas as he assigned tasks. Jack, you and I will work on creating a more permanent shelter using the shuttle parts and local materials. Sam, continue improving our defenses and set some hunting traps. We need to supplement our food supply. Sam nodded. I saw tracks by the stream yesterday. Something big moves through there at night. Be careful, Lisa cautioned. We don't know what kind of wildlife we're dealing with. Olivia, Adam continued, keep working on those signals. If someone is watching us, I want to know who they are and what they want. I've been thinking, Jack said quietly. Everyone turned to him. He rarely spoke unless he had something important to say. If there is advanced technology on this planet, we might be able to boost our own capabilities. What do you mean? Adam asked. Jack drew a simple diagram in the dirt. If I can build a stronger antenna using parts from the shuttle's sensor array, we might pick up more than just signals. We might be able to locate their source. Do it, Adam decided. Olivia, help him with whatever he needs. As they dispersed to their tasks, a low rumble of thunder sounded in the distance. Dark clouds were gathering on the horizon, moving quickly toward their position. Storm coming, Sam warned, looking up at the churning sky. Lisa studied the clouds, with concern. That doesn't look like an ordinary storm. The atmospheric pressure is dropping too rapidly. Within minutes, the wind picked up dramatically. The makeshift shelter they had constructed began to shake. Leaves and debris swirled around them as the storm approached. Everyone back to the shuttle, Adam shouted over the rising wind. We need better cover. They rushed to gather essential supplies. The first drops of rain felt strangely heavy, almost gelatinous as they hit the ground and sizzled. Acid rain, Lisa realized, examining a drop that had landed on her sleeve and was now eating through the fabric. Get inside now. The team barely made it back to the damaged shuttle before the full force of the storm hit. Acid rain pounded the metal hull, creating an eerie drumming sound. Through the cracked viewport, they watched as their camp was lashed by the caustic downpour. So much for not being a hostile environment, Jack muttered, securing the shuttle door. Adam looked at their faces, tired but determined. This is just another problem to solve. We'll wait out the storm, then rebuild. That's what humans do. Abinoi. Acid rain dissolved their external camp. None of them noticed the small drone hovering just beyond the tree line, recording everything. Inside their observation post, the Xantari watched with growing respect as the humans faced this new challenge. With the same determination they had shown since arrival, the test had only just begun. 2 weeks had passed since the crash. The acid storm had destroyed much of their original camp, but the team had rebuilt and improved upon their initial efforts. Their new base was constructed partly within a rocky outcropping that provided natural shelter from the elements. They had expanded the space using salvaged shuttle panels and local materials that Jack had discovered were resistant to the acidic rain. Adam surveyed their progress with pride. What had begun as a desperate survival situation had evolved into something resembling a proper outpost. Lisa had created a small garden of edible native plants near their shelter. Sam had constructed an impressive defense system, including alarm, tripwires, pit traps, and even a crude but effective fence. Jack had repurposed parts of the shuttle systems to provide basic power for essential equipment. Olivia had continued to work on communications, setting up a makeshift monitoring station on a nearby hill. We've come a long way, Adam said as the team gathered for their evening meal. Lisa nodded, stirring a pot of stew made from local plants and a small rodent-like creature Sam had caught. We could potentially survive here indefinitely now. I've even started to synthesize basic medicines from some of the plant compounds. Any luck with those signals? Adam asked Olivia. Yes and no, she replied. I've been able to isolate the frequency they're using, and I'm certain they're artificial communications. The pattern suggests a sophisticated encryption. But here's the interesting part. The signals intensify whenever we make a significant advancement or discovery. So whoever is watching us is definitely taking notes, Sam said, checking the edge on a knife he had fashioned from shuttle debris. Jack, who had been quietly working on a small device, spoke up. I think I can trace the signals to their source. He held up his creation, a small handheld device with a crude display. I modified a navigational component from the shuttle. It can detect the direction of the strongest signal. Adam studied the device. Good work. Tomorrow we'll follow the signal. If someone or something brought us down, I want to know why. There's something else, Lisa said hesitantly. I found some unusual markings in the cave system behind our shelter. They look artificial, like writing or symbols. You think someone lived here before? Sam asked. Or still does, Lisa replied. The markings don't look ancient. Some of them seem to be made with tools, not hands. Adam considered this information. After we eat, show me these markings. If there are other intelligent beings on this planet, we need to know if they're friendly or hostile. In the Xantari observation post, Senior Observer Krell was growing increasingly concerned. The humans were advancing much faster than anticipated, and now they were actively seeking the source of the observation signals. They have constructed a tracking device from their damaged technology, he reported to Director Vex. They will likely discover our observation post within the next cycle. The director's image flickered on the screen. This violates our non-interference protocols. Relocate your observation equipment immediately. With respect, Director, Krell argued, this presents a unique opportunity. No species we have studied has ever detected our presence so quickly. Their problem-solving abilities exceed our models. Are you suggesting direct contact? The director's voice was cold. I am suggesting we observe how they react to finding us, Krell clarified. It would provide valuable data on human diplomatic and first contact behaviors. After a long pause, the director responded, You may maintain your current position but activate the defensive protocols. If the humans attempt any hostile action, you are authorized to neutralize them. Understood, Director, Krell said, though he felt uncomfortable with the order. Over the past weeks he had developed a certain respect for these resilient creatures. After the transmission ended, Junior Observer Mela approached. The defensive systems are designed for Xantari physiology. They may be lethal to humans. Then we must ensure they do not trigger them, Krell replied. Continue monitoring their activities. Lisa led Adam deeper into the cave system behind their shelter. The passages twisted and turned, but she moved confidently, having mapped them during her exploration. She stopped at a small chamber and pointed, her light at the wall. There, she said. Adam studied the markings with interest. They were precise geometric patterns etched into the stone, circles, triangles, and lines arranged in complex formations. These aren't random, he agreed. This is communication of some kind. Lisa ran her fingers over the symbols. And look at this. She directed her light to a different section of wall where the markings changed style. These are different. They look almost like mathematical equations. Adam took photos with a small camera they had salvaged from the shuttle. We need to show these to Olivia. Maybe she can make sense of them. A slight movement caught his eye. A small section of the wall seemed to shift slightly. Did you see that? Lisa nodded, stepping back. The walls did that once before when I was exploring. I thought it was just my imagination. Adam approached the spot carefully and pressed his hand against the stone. To his surprise, it gave way slightly, revealing a seam that hadn't been visible before. It's a door, he whispered. With careful pressure, the section of wall slid aside, revealing a dark passageway beyond. Cool air flowed out, carrying a strange metallic scent. Should we go in? Lisa asked. Adam hesitated. Let's get the others first. We don't know what's in there. They hurried back to camp and gathered the team. After a quick explanation, they all armed themselves with makeshift weapons and lights. Jack's signal tracker is going crazy, Olivia reported, looking at the device. Whatever it's detecting is coming from inside that passage. Stay together, Adam instructed as they entered the hidden corridor. Sam, take point. Jack, watch our backs. The passage was smooth and straight, unlike the natural cave. After about 50 meters, it opened into a large chamber filled with strange equipment. The walls glowed with soft blue light from panels embedded in the stone. This is definitely not natural, Sam said. Weapon ready. Jack examined the technology with wonder. This is far beyond anything we have. Look at how it's integrated with the natural rock. Olivia approached what appeared to be a control panel. Strange symbols flickered across its surface. These match the markings Lisa found. It's some kind of language. As they explored the chamber, Adam noticed a circular platform in the center. What do you think this is? Before anyone could answer, the platform activated. A beam of light shot upward, and within it, a three-dimensional image formed, a map of the surrounding area. Their crash site was clearly marked, as was their current location. They've been tracking us the whole time, Sam said. Olivia studied the other markers on the map. Look, there's another structure about 2 kilometers north of here, much larger than this one. Adam made his decision. We need to know who brought us down and why. Tomorrow, we head north. As they turned to leave, none of them noticed the small camera in the corner of the room, recording their every move. In the Xantari observation post, Krell watched the humans discover the abandoned monitoring station with a mixture of concern and fascination. They found the old survey post, he told Mela, and now they're coming here. Should we evacuate? She asked. Krell considered his options. No, prepare for first contact. The observation had become something far more significant. The fate of 2 species now hung in the balance. The journey north began at dawn. Adam led the team through the dense alien forest using Jack's signal tracker as a guide. The device beeped steadily, growing more insistent as they moved toward their target. Sam took the rear position, constantly, scanning for threats. The team had learned to move quietly through the underbrush, avoiding the attention of the larger predators they now knew inhabited the planet. We're getting close, Jack said, checking his device. Less than half a kilometer. Now, the forest thinned as they climbed a gentle slope. Strange rock formations jutted from the ground like giant fingers pointing to the sky. Lisa stopped occasionally to collect plant samples, unable to resist her scientific curiosity even on this crucial mission. These plants are changing, she noted. The species here show signs of deliberate cultivation. Someone's been gardening. Keep your eyes open, Adam warned. We don't know what kind of welcome we'll receive. As they crested the hill, they stopped in unified surprise. Before them lay a structure unlike anything they had expected. It resembled a massive dome, mostly hidden underground with only its upper portion visible above the surface. Its exterior matched the surrounding rock almost perfectly, a masterful feat of camouflage that would make it nearly invisible from the air. That explains why we didn't see this during our descent, Olivia whispered. Sam pointed to an area near the base of the dome. Look there, some kind of entrance. Adam studied the structure through a pair of makeshift binoculars Jack had created from shuttle parts. I don't see any obvious defenses or weapons. Let's approach carefully. Remember, we want peaceful contact, if possible. They moved down the slope toward the dome, staying within the cover of the vegetation. As they drew closer, details became clearer. The entrance Sam had spotted was a smooth oval opening with no visible door. No guards patrolled the perimeter, and no obvious sensors were detectable. This seems too easy, Sam muttered, his military instincts on high alert. Maybe they don't expect visitors, Lisa suggested, or maybe they just don't fear them, Jack added quietly. Adam made his decision. We need answers. Sam and I will approach the entrance. The rest of you hold position. Here. If anything happens to us, return to camp and try to signal for rescue. Olivia handed Adam a small device she had been working on. Take this. I've been trying to create a universal translator based on the patterns I've detected in their signals. It might help if you meet anyone. Adam nodded his thanks and tucked the device into his pocket. He and Sam then moved toward the dome's entrance, weapons ready but not raised, trying to project peaceful intentions while remaining prepared for trouble. As they approached the oval opening, it suddenly illuminated with a soft blue light. A humming sound emanated from within. Adam and Sam exchanged glances but continued forward. Just as they reached the threshold, a figure appeared in the entrance. Adam froze, staring at the first alien being he had ever encountered. The creature stood slightly taller than a human, with a slender build and grayish-blue skin that seemed to shimmer with a subtle scale-like pattern. Its head was elongated, with large almond-shaped eyes that blinked with an inner and outer lid. It wore what appeared to be a form-fitting suit that glowed softly along its seams. "Hello?" Adam said, simply raising his empty hand in greeting. The alien tilted its head, studying them with obvious curiosity. Then, to Adam's surprise, it responded in heavily accented but understandable English. "Greetings, humans. I am Senior Observer Krell of the Xantari Confederacy. We have been expecting you." Inside the dome, Krell had been monitoring the humans' approach with growing anxiety. The director's orders were clear: observe but do not engage unless necessary. Yet Krell had made a different decision, one that could cost him his position or worse. "You cannot seriously intend to greet them directly," Junior Observer Mela had protested. "The protocols specifically forbid." "The protocols were designed for primitive species unable to comprehend our presence," Krell interrupted. "These humans have demonstrated exceptional abilities. They found us despite our best concealment efforts. They deserve direct communication." "The director will not approve," Mela warned. "I will accept responsibility," Krell said firmly. "Prepare the translation matrix. I want to be able to speak with them." Now standing face to face with the human commander, Krell felt a mixture of scientific fascination and personal fear. These creatures had survived conditions that would kill most Xantari without their protective technology. What else were they capable of? Adam struggled to maintain his composure as he faced the alien being. Years of training had prepared him for many situations, but actual first contact had always seemed like a distant theoretical possibility. "You speak our language," he said, recovering from his initial shock. "We have been studying your communications since your arrival." Krell explained. "Your language patterns are relatively simple to decode." Sam tensed beside Adam. "Were you responsible for our crash?" The alien's eyes blinked in a rapid pattern. "Not directly. Our observation protocols required non-interference. Your navigation systems were merely redirected. We did not anticipate the catastrophic failure that occurred." "You've been watching us," Adam stated. "Why?" "The Xantari Confederacy studies developing species throughout this sector of space," Krell said. "Your kind is of particular interest due to your rapid technological advancement and your unusual adaptability." Adam signaled to the others to approach. As they emerged from the trees, he noticed the alien's posture change slightly, a subtle straightening that might indicate surprise or alarm. "This is my team," Adam explained. "We're scientists and explorers, not invaders." Krell studied each human carefully. "Your survival skills have greatly exceeded our predictions. The Confederacy classified humans as technology-dependent beings who would perish quickly if separated from your machines." Lisa stepped forward. "We've had to adapt to many environments on our home world. Humans evolved to be problem solvers." Krell seemed to consider this. "Please enter our facility. There is much to discuss. Your discovery of our presence has created a complicated situation." As the team followed Krell into the dome, they entered a vast chamber filled with technology beyond their understanding. Multiple screens displayed images of their crash site, their camp, and even close-up recordings of their daily activities. Other Xantari moved about the facility, stopping to stare at the human visitors with evident curiosity or alarm. "You've been thorough in your observations," Adam noted, looking at the screens. "You have been an exceptional study subject," Krell replied. "But now a decision must be made. The Confederacy does not typically reveal itself to species at your development stage." "Then why are you talking to us now?" Sam asked suspiciously. Before Krell could answer, an alarm sounded throughout the facility. The screens flickered and changed to show a large spacecraft entering the planet's atmosphere. "What is that?" Adam asked. Krell's posture stiffened. "The Confederacy High Command has sent an enforcement vessel. They are coming to contain the situation." He turned to face Adam directly. "You and your team are now considered a security risk. The observation had just become much more dangerous." The atmosphere inside the Xantari facility grew tense as the enforcement vessel approached. Adam watched the screens showing the large ship descending through the clouds. It looked sleek and predatory, with a design clearly meant for military purposes. "What exactly does contain the situation mean?" Adam asked Krell, his voice firm despite the danger they faced. Krell's inner eyelids blinked rapidly. "The High Command fears that knowledge of our presence might alter your species' development path. Standard protocol would be to remove the evidence." "You mean kill us?" Sam said bluntly, gripping his makeshift weapon tighter. "I disagree with this approach," Krell responded quickly, "which is why I chose to make direct contact. Your species has shown remarkable potential. I believe you deserve better." Junior Observer Mela approached, visibly distressed. "They are requesting immediate communication, Senior Observer." Krell turned to Adam. "I must speak with them. Please remain calm and do not take hostile action. It would only confirm their fears about your kind." Adam nodded, then gathered his team close as Krell moved to a central console. "We need options," he whispered to his people. "I've been studying their technology," Jack said quietly. "Their systems are advanced, but follow logical patterns. I think I understand how their communications work. Their physiology is very different from ours," Lisa added. "They seem sensitive to the planet's magnetic fields. That might explain why they built their facility mostly underground, and why they wear those protective suits." Olivia had been quiet, listening to the Xantari speak among themselves. "Their language has mathematical structures. My translator is picking up more now that I'm hearing it directly." "Good," Adam said. "Keep gathering information. We need every advantage we can get." He turned to Sam. "What are our defensive options?" Sam surveyed the facility. "Limited, we're on their turf, surrounded by their tech, but they seem physically frailer than us. In close quarters, we might have an advantage." On the main screen, a new Xantari face appeared. Unlike Krell, this one wore elaborate decorations on its suit and had a crest of small, spine-like projections on its head. Senior Observer Krell, the new Xantari, spoke, its voice cold and metallic. "You have violated primary protocols by revealing yourself to the study subjects." "Director Vex," Krell responded formally. "The humans discovered our presence through their own ingenuity. They tracked our signals and located the old survey post. Direct contact became inevitable." The director's eyes narrowed. "You should have relocated as ordered. The enforcement team will land shortly. Prepare the humans for processing." "Processing?" Krell questioned. "Their memories of this encounter must be eliminated," the director stated flatly. "The High Command has ordered a complete neural wipe. It is more humane than termination." Adam felt a chill run through him. Mind wiping or death. Neither option was acceptable. He caught Jack's eye and gave a subtle nod. Jack slowly moved toward an unattended console while the Xantari were focused on their leader's conversation. "I must formally object to this decision," Krell said, standing straighter. "These humans have demonstrated exceptional abilities. They could be valuable allies, not test subjects." "Your objection is noted and rejected," the director replied. "Your observation assignment is terminated. You will surrender command to the enforcement team upon arrival." The communication ended abruptly. Krell turned to the humans, his expression unreadable to their eyes, but his posture suggesting distress. "I apologize," he said simply. "I had hoped for a different outcome." "There's still time to find another solution," Adam suggested. "We don't want conflict with your people, but we won't submit to having our minds wiped." A loud alarm suddenly blared throughout the facility. The screens flickered, showing the enforcement vessel landing in a clearing near the dome. Armored Xantari emerged from the ship, carrying what were clearly weapons. "We have minutes at most," Krell said. Jack returned to the group quickly. "I accessed their systems," he whispered to Adam. "They're vulnerable to power surges. They're protective. Suits too." Adam made a quick decision. "Krell, you said your people are sensitive to this planet's magnetic fields. Is that why you need those suits?" Krell hesitated before answering. Yes. Without protection, extended exposure causes neural degradation in our species. This planet's magnetosphere is toxic to Xantari physiology. That's why you built underground, Lisa realized. The rock shields you. Correct, Krell confirmed. Adam looked at Jack. Can you disable their suit systems without harming them? Jack nodded. I think so. A targeted electromagnetic pulse might work. Their systems are all connected to a central power source. Do it, Adam ordered. Then he turned to Krell. You should move to a shielded area. We don't want to hurt anyone, just protect ourselves. Krell studied Adam's face. You would warn me? Even after my people threatened you? We're not at war with all Xantari, Adam explained. Just those who want to wipe our minds. You've shown us respect. We're returning it. This seemed to impact Krell deeply. After a moment's consideration, he made a decision. There is an emergency protocol that might help us. If you disable their suits temporarily, I can activate a quarantine lockdown. It would prevent them from entering this facility. Then we have a plan, Adam said. Jack moved quickly to a control panel, guided by subtle hints from Krell. The rest of the team prepared for possible confrontation. Outside, the enforcement team approached the dome's entrance. Ready, Jack called out. Krell positioned himself at the main console. The pulse will affect all Xantari technology in range, including parts of this facility. Be prepared for darkness. Adam nodded to Jack. Do it. Jack activated the pulse. The effect was immediate. The facility's lights flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. Emergency lights activated moments later, casting an eerie red glow over everything. On the screens that remained functional, they could see the approaching Xantari stagger as their suits malfunctioned. Krell worked quickly at his console. Initiating quarantine lockdown. Heavy shields slid into place over the facility's entrance and all external access points. The enforcement team was locked outside and the humans were safely inside with Krell and his team. It worked, Sam said with surprise. Temporarily, Krell cautioned. They will find a way to override the lockdown eventually. Then we need to negotiate from a position of strength, Adam decided. Can you establish communication with your high command? Someone who outranks Director Vex? Krell hesitated, then nodded. There is one who might listen. The Science Overseer has final authority on all observation missions. As Krell worked to establish the connection, Adam gathered his team. We've bought some time, but we need a permanent solution. Ideas. Lisa stepped forward. I think I have one. If their physiology is vulnerable to this planet's magnetic field, we could offer them our research on magnetic shielding. Earth's space program developed techniques they might find valuable. A trade, Olivia realized. Our knowledge for our freedom. Exactly, Lisa said. We show them humans are more valuable as allies than test subjects. On the main screen, a new Xantari appeared, older than the others with pale, almost translucent skin. Krell bowed deeply. Science Overseer, I request your direct intervention in the human observation matter. The Overseer studied the scene, eyes lingering on the humans. Explain this situation, Senior Observer Krell. Adam stepped forward. If I may, Overseer, we have a proposal that might benefit both our peoples. The Overseer blinked slowly. You speak our language? No, Adam said with a small smile. But we learn quickly. That's what your observers have been discovering about humans. We adapt. We solve problems and we prefer cooperation to conflict when possible. The human team stood tall beside their alien ally, ready to forge a new understanding between their species. The observation had become something much more significant, the beginning of an alliance that would change the future for both civilizations.